What's up, y'all? I'm Matt.
And I'm Heck.
This is the 2434 podcast where anything is possible.
And we learn from our wins and losses. This is the breakdown in which we talk about the hoop topics and the hoop sessions during the week.
With the NBA season starting tonight, tip-off being Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers and the Golden State Warriors facing off against the LA Lakers, there are some key points that need to be discussed before we start. The key points, the first topic is Golden State to remain golden, the Celtics road to redemption, NBA season award predictions, sleeper teams to watch out for, men on a mission who will obtain the ultimate prize. Golden State to remain golden. As we all know, Steph Curry captured his fourth NBA title last season alongside Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. The Warriors are looking good and they're looking in charge, but there has been a couple of locker room issues, and with a lot of teams being healthier this season, Golden State being the reigning defending champions, do you think, Heck, they can repeat?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think they can. I think they can repeat. For this reason, because the fact of the matter is, they still have the same core group of guys that are on that team together. They've been playing good basketball of late. The issue is can Jordan Poole and Draymond Green coexist in the same locker room? It's already proven that Draymond Green is most likely not going to be there next year or after his contract extension, because of the fact that the matter is they already tied money into Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole as well, yeah.
And they still have to pay Klay Thompson. They still have to play Klay Thompson. So the fact of the matter is, Draymond is the odd man out, and because he punched Jordan Poole in the face, sorry, Jordan Poole.
That's a fact. Listen, it was a sucker punch. We've had our conversation about that. The punch was so unnecessary. Do I think Golden State will repeat? Me personally, I do not. I think that's it for the Warriors. I'm not counting them out in terms of making the playoffs or even making another Western Conference Finals, but I just feel like that punch messed up the chemistry of the team, and I just think that Klay Thompson, as we saw last season, isn't the same Klay Thompson that we've seen in previous seasons. Same with Draymond Green. Like, he can still give you a little bit of everything, but not at the high level that he once did. So I don't think the Warriors are going to remain golden. They'll still be a really good team. Jordan Poole, young asset. Andrew Wiggins, another young asset. Still a really great, and they have James Wiseman coming back and alongside Kevin Looney. Great guys, but I don't see the Warriors potentially reaching another NBA Finals. And if they do, I don't see them winning that title. So conclusion, I don't see Golden State remaining golden. Next topic, the Celtics road to redemption. So, I'll be honest when I say this, I am a Celtics fan. That is my team. That is my team. Yo, it is Boston all day. All right. Yo, hold up. It is Boston all day, all right? That's what I represent, okay? But as we all know, Boston had a terrific season last season. They started off really, really rough. A lot of people counted us out, and then we made it all the way to the NBA Finals, where Tatum and Jaylen Brown showed that they're two future stars in this league for many years to come. They did not get the job done, but just when we thought that the Boston Celtics were going to win the championship, Steph Curry stepped up and played phenomenally. Andrew Wiggins was a force on defense, and Jordan Poole was just shooting lights out. The Warriors team, they were clicking on all ends. So Boston has a lot of work to do this season, but the main issue is losing coach Ime Udoka. That was a big shot to the Boston Celtics. You know, he was our new coach, first-year coach, and made it to his NBA Finals. Heck, what do you think about the Celtics losing Ime Udoka? Do you think it puts the Boston Celtics in a tougher situation, or do you see them still having success this season?
Okay, so so the coach, I look at it is possible, because the fact that it is, Ime already set the culture. He did, and he did his responsibility to help the team be successful and help them win. Here's a bunch of issues. One, Jason Tatum going to step up and going to be the best version of himself and develop into a superstar player that we want him to be, or MVP candidate that we want him to be. Honestly, I don't know.
Do you think Boston adding Blake Griffin does anything? Do you think the additions of Blake Griffin, Malcolm Brogdon, even though Gallows-Hart, do you think those key pieces help Boston in any kind of way?
I mean, okay. Blake Griffin, when he was on the Nets, he really didn't really do much. But he also got in his hands of him. Blake Griffin, as a 34-year-old former high flyer, he doesn't have that same spring into his step that he used to as he did in his prime. So the fact of the matter is, I don't think Blake Griffin is going to be that beneficial. Gallinari being back in the middle of the season, it really depends on how the surgery. There's a lot of things that go into that, aka how the surgery is going. Because of the fact that the matter he tore his ACL is a 1-year process. The fact that the matter is for him to make it back into the play in the middle of the season, he's gonna have to rush back, especially since he tore it in July.
Around that time, yeah, July.
So there is that. Now he has to rehab. He has to rush back, and he has to figure out how does he fit in the flow of the offense that him and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is running.
Right.
And you also got to understand, then you got to add Malcolm Brogdon, who's a major piece and who's a major point guard and a major acquisition to that piece.
Probably the best pickup we had this offseason. Absolutely, yeah.
So the mere fact of the matter is, there's question marks throughout the whole entire roster.
Right. There's a lot of question marks. It's really up to Boston. You know, Boston was on the hot seat. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like that before, where a team was at the highest of high. Like, before this situation happened, I'm pretty sure a lot of people had Boston going back to the finals to win that championship. But then they lose their center Rob Williams. You know, they lose their coach Ime Udoka, and the whole entire team is just in the midst of a lot of drama and heat. You know, it almost felt like the season was falling apart. But thankfully, watching these preseason games, Boston still looks strong. Like Hector said, Coach Ime Udoka really brought the culture, so the culture still stands, it still stays, and that's the best part about it. And I think Boston will have a successful season overall, but again, it relies on the team, but it mainly relies on Jaylen Brown and especially Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has to be that guy. He's the superstar of that team, and he has to step up. But hopefully with the additions of Brogdon and still having players like Marcus Smart, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and a lot of these guys to help, whether they're starting or coming off the bench, just to facilitate the ball, space the floor, catch those wide open threes, anything is possible for Boston. So my hopes are high. You know, again, that's my team. So hopefully they win it all, but I think Boston's road to redemption, I think they're going to make it. NBA season predictions. So first thing first, and I believe the most important award, the MVP. Heck, who do you think is winning most valuable player this season? Okay, so the MVP award is one of those awards that's really hard to predict. It all depends on who's the number one seed, who has what type of year each player has. Jokic may be the clear-cut favorite, but the fact of the matter is voter fatigue may fall into that. So if Jokic is the number one seed and he averages 30, 10, and 10, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the MVP this year. If not, it could go down to LeBron, because LeBron is 38 in the year 20s. If the Lakers do pretty well, he's gonna have a lot of hype. So my pick is gonna be a shock. I think it's gonna be, if Joel Embiid stays healthy, Joel Embiid is gonna come back on the bench and win MVP this year. I respect that with Joel Embiid. After all, he was second in votes in MVP last season, and a lot of people think that he should have been, rightfully so, the MVP. My MVP, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say, Paul George? Not Paul George. Damn, this is tough. You know what? I have confidence in this. I'm going to say Jason Tatum wins his first MVP at this age. Absolutely. And not to be biased, but I feel like Jason Tatum is another star who has amazing NBA regular seasons where he averages some really great numbers. I feel like Boston's also going to be a team that's going to be around that 1 seed to 3 seed around there. So I believe my MVP choice is going to be Jason Tatum for this season. Okay, before you start, do me a favor and show the crowd your Celtics shirt, because you all know that's the most biased answer in the world. I showed it earlier. Like, listen, you gotta show it again at the same Jason Tatum, my brother. Not to be biased, y'all. Not to be biased, but this Boston is. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that is biased, my guy. Listen, I believe Jason Tatum, but moving on though. All right. moving on, we have Coach of the Year. So, Heck, who do you think will capture the award Coach of the Year for this upcoming NBA season?
To be honest, I really don't know. Like, I felt that Mike Malone should have won it last year because of the effort and the scheming the game plan that he did with the Nuggets that helped him get swept, helped him make the playoffs when both their star players are out, and then then let him eventually get swept by the Warriors. So there's that idea. I honestly feel that the coach for the Raptors may be a prime spot to be a Coach of the Year, and the coach for the Cavaliers may be a prime spot for the year to win Coach of the Year. So there's a lot of things that go into that.
Okay, that's a tough one too. It is kind of tough to choose, but my Coach of the Year, I'm gonna go and say Ty Lue. I feel like Ty Lue having all his guys back. The fact that Kawhi was hurt and PG was hurt as well, Ty Lue managed to keep that Clippers team relevant. He managed to keep that Clipper team strong, especially in the playoffs. So I'm going to go out and say Ty Lue to be this year's NBA Coach of the Year. So Rookie of the Year, who do you have capturing that award?
To be honest, I think it's going to most likely be Paolo Banchero because he's probably going to be in the best situation to win Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Because Jabari Smith is going to be fighting over touches with Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. Right?
Agreed.
Shed is out for the whole entire year because he thought he was Rudy Gobert and he was not.
Sad injury.
Keegan Murray, the jury's still out on him, and the fact of the matter, he was a late bloomer coming into the league.
Right.
Jalen Ivey he's going to be fighting over touches with him, Kay Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and Isaiah Stewart, who got the hand. So we don't know about that. So unless some rookie in the late, I'm not discrediting any rookie in this whole entire class, but unless some rookie in the late rounds comes out of nowhere, it's most likely going to be Paolo Banchero winning Rookie of the Year this year. So, what do you think?
I would agree. I would say Paolo as well. From what we've seen in the summer league, he's a baller. Same thing in college. Those games against DeJounte Murray, boy, they were heated. But I think Paolo's gonna be huge. I think he's a future star in the making. Has all the right aspects, like his athleticism, everything about Paolo. I really feel like he's gonna be a great player. And like Heck said, he's in the best situation to win Rookie of the Year. He's with the Magic team that is not the best at the moment, but Paolo could possibly be that breakout star for Orlando and capture that Rookie of the Year. So I would agree and say I have Paolo winning Rookie of the Year this upcoming NBA season. So next up is Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you have winning Defensive Player of the Year?
Defensive Player of the Year is one of those awards where it's really difficult to tell who's going to win it at the beginning of the season because the fact of the matter is Marcus Smart won it last year, even though it should have went to Draymond Green, but Draymond Green was injured. Then you got Rudy Gobert who went the year prior, and even though Rudy Gobert is a solid defender, I believe that Rudy Gobert is great, but the problem is when he plays against smaller lineups, they can scheme him off the court. To be honest, I'm gonna go with a wild card. I'm picking Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat.
Bam, I like that. Okay, Bam's a good pick. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Mikal Bridges. I do believe he has a chance at winning it. I don't think Phoenix will be as strong as of a team they were last year. I really do see Phoenix just kind of falling apart. But Mikal Bridges, he's a great defender, defends the ball at a very high rate. The wingspan of Mikal Bridges is insane. So if anything, I have Mikal Bridges winning Defensive Player of the Year this season. Next up is the Sixth Man of the Year award. Heck, who do you feel is bringing home that trophy?
All right, so to be honest, y'all gonna laugh at me for this, but I'm gonna say it. If Russell Westbrook commits himself to coming off the bench, he's probably gonna have the numbers to win Sixth Man of the Year. So if he's averaging 14, 6 and 6 off the bench with a 43% field goal percentage and a 31% 3-point percentage, You're telling me that those numbers will not equate to him winning Sixth Man of the Year?
All jokes aside, see, people might find that crazy, but I think that's real. Listen, Russ gets a lot of hate, which rightfully so. You know, there are moments where you look at Russ and you got to ask yourself, like, bro, what are you doing? But in the process of that, what Heck said, like, if Russell committed himself to coming off the bench, you know, being a part of the second unit, leading the second unit, I really do feel like Russ can take home that Sixth Man of the Year award. Like Heck said, like, with decent numbers, listen, even if he was supposed to average just 10, 10, and 10 to me, you know, with some decent shooting, he can bring home that Sixth Man of the Year. If the Lakers are winning and Russ is contributing to the second unit, then I believe he has a chance at winning Sixth Man of the Year. Personally, for me, my choice, I'm going to go out and say Tyus Jones of the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like this man was severely underrated last season. He was great position last year at point guard. He was really bringing the team a lot of things that they really needed: scoring, passing the ball. He still has that, you know, feistiness in him to like get that bucket, get to the paint, do what he needs to do. I think Tyus Jones is a really underrated off the bench point guard, and I have him winning Sixth Man of the Year. When John Morant was out, you know, he really stepped up and he was really that guy, really helped the Memphis Grizzlies winning, really helped a lot. So I'm gonna say Tyus Jones as my Sixth Man of the Year. Okay, so next key topic is the sleeper team of the year. Every year you have to watch out for a single team because certain teams make strides that just exceed all expectations. So we're gonna dive into some sleeper teams. So Heck, if you had to choose just one, who do you think, or who do you believe is the number one sleeper team to watch out for this NBA season?
To be honest, the team I would actually like to, I would put my faith in, I think the Orlando Magic is going to be a solid team this year. Even though it looked like they were just battling for the lottery, how they're going to be a solid team this year. The problem with the Orlando Magic's cast is their guys are always battling injuries. So like Markelle Fultz is a walking 14 points a game guy without a jump shot. Without a three ball. I feel that if he's working and he's making the strides to improve his game and he can stay healthy, I'm pretty sure he can probably be a 20-something per game scorer. Then you have Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac is coming back. You have Franz Wagner. You have Paolo Banchero. I feel like Paolo Banchero may average a column 17 points a game this season as a rookie. Then you have a solid. They're full of young guys, and I feel like they need a glue piece or an OG or a veteran on that team that can sit there.
Yeah, veteran.
That can sit there and get their ish together. Right, so I feel like the Magic will be a really good sleeper team to watch.
Never know. Magic still have some really good pieces. So listen, certain teams make certain surprises, and I wouldn't doubt the Magic can possibly sneak into a playing game. And remember, in a playing game, anything is possible. So for my sleeper team, I'm gonna say the Pelicans. The reason I'm saying the Pelicans is last year what they did against Phoenix was just crazy. You know, watching that performance, I just sat there and said, listen, Brandon Ingram has the ability to be that dude. Zion coming back healthy is going to be a scary sight. Willie Green from a player to a coach, just Willie Green, his mentality, his mindset to the game, also his passion, the way he cried as they lost. But, you know, that shows, like, you know, that's really deep meaning and a lot of love for your team and whatnot. I just think the Pelicans are going to be scary. Like, you know, great bigs, you know, great rookies. They got GTA, Grand Theft Auto, you know what I'm talking about?
Grand Theft Auto, Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, Alvarado. They got my boy Alvarado down there, you know, who is crazy on the defensive end, like could really be a pest. But I think the Pelicans are going to be my sleeper team this year. That's one team that I am watching out for, and I would not be surprised if they amount to the success that they should be getting. Leading to the NBA season, leading to this NBA season, right? It's going to be a big one. It's going to be an eventful one. But, you know, decisions have to be made. At the end of this season, who do you have capturing the Larry O'Brien trophy? Who's winning this year's NBA, well, next year, 2023 NBA Finals?
Okay. Warriors pick is probably most likely going to be. I think the Warriors have a chance to have the culture and have the talent to go back to back. This year and next year are going to be the last 2 years that we're going to see that core together. So the fact of the matter is they're going to make sure everything works itself out. Depending on the understanding, the fact of the matter is Jordan Poole and the Draymond Green situation. They're going to figure out a way how to resolve that peacefully, and I feel that Jordan Poole is a professional enough to sit there and have a working man relationship with Draymond Green versus any other team. Knowing him, he's probably gonna pick a C's of the East or the C's of the West. So I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, all I know is if it's one thing you guys will always hear me say. Boston, I'm a loyal fan. I've been a Boston fan. Boston is the whole reason I watch basketball. Boston's been my favorite team ever since I started watching basketball many, many years ago. But listen, where Kawhi goes and where, PG goes as well, because I'm a huge PG fan as well. Listen, I'm going to be a fan of that team. But in all seriousness, there's a quote that you will hear me say for the next couple of years. There's the C's in the East and the C's in the West. The Clippers and the Celtics. Either one of those teams, I promise you, will win this year's NBA Finals. If it's not the Celtics, it's Kawhi in those Clips. If it's not Kawhi in those Clips, it's Tatum in those Celtics. So, with that being said, Boston or Clippers, I have them winning the championship. Heck has Golden State winning the championship. So, mark us down. Whether it's in May, June, July, whatever, when that finals come, I'm expecting the Clippers, the Celtics, or the Warriors to be there, and we'll see who captures that Larry O'Brien trophy. When you watch people growing up, a lot of people who are just doing jobs don't realize that they're inspiring people. Just being an analyst, I never really thought too much of it. Growing up, watching Game Time is probably where it first started for me, where I got a chance to watch guys like Sekou Smith, rest in peace, 3D, Dennis Scott, Grant Hill, so many great guys a part of that cast that just talked basketball and just really inspired me to talk basketball as well. And then from Game Time, it went to Inside the NBA TNT. We love those guys, Ernie, Shaq, Kenny, Charles Barkley, some great faces to talk basketball. And then from there, got it more into ESPN, Undisputed, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Jalen Rose, Jay Williams, so many great faces that talk basketball. So if they could do it, why can't we, So that's what this podcast is going to be about, just sharing the love of the game and interacting with others. This is going to be a weekly podcast. So again, I really hope you guys enjoy the podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Heck.
And this is the 2434 podcast. So I appreciate you guys for watching and look forward to more videos.
And we jam out.